Hello everybody, it is me, Pacific. I just finished up watching President Barack Obama's 2013 inauguration speech. Wanted to make a couple comments about it. I have a hard time listening to Obama. I have a hard time listening to most of the presidents because they've got that look that just is so contrived, so plasticated, and it just doesn't strike me as somebody who really is a natural leader. I watch where it just seems that it's so apparent that he's reading a teleprompter. It's funny. 99% of my videos I do without any notes. I shoot straight off the top of my personal experiences and what I believe. I've been told I have a photographic memory. That may well be. But let's talk about his speech. He starts off about God and this nation under God and all men are created equal. I want to stop right there. Does Barack Obama really believe that all men are created equal? Does he? Does he believe that he should share his wealth and his retirement, his health insurance for the rest of us that don't have it? Does he? I don't think so. Does Barack Obama want me, a white male, to have the position he has? I doubt it. I don't believe he believes all men are created equal. I believe he's been a rallying post for the black people. Many black people voted for him simply because he is black. I find that rather atrocious. We need to vote for somebody on principle, not for skin color, and that goes for white people as well. Many white people say, well, I'm going to vote for the white guy because I'm anti-black. Stupid. Racist. Not acceptable. I don't care if the man is black. I don't care if the man is Asian. I don't care if he's Chinese. I don't care if he's German. I care that he's a U.S. citizen, and I care that he holds the values that I believe in. I believe in a president that's fiscally conservative, not getting us into as much debt as Barack Obama's administration is and will continue to get us into. While this year people like me who are not middle class will pay almost $2,000 more in taxes. So when he gives a speech saying he wants to defend the middle class, that's all smoke and mirrors, people. The other thing I heard in his speech was that he seemed to hint at government being more of a welfare state, taking care of all of America's citizens. Ironically, he says that out of one side of his mouth while he's sticking it to the hardworking, less than middle class people. Next year, if I don't have health insurance, I will be fined $2,000. I would like to know how he justifies that when I cannot afford the $400 to $500 a month for health insurance premiums as it is. And then I'm going to get fined $2,000 for not having it. I've never gone to the ER. I go into a walk-in clinic and I pay the price. The full price. No discounts for low income. $150 to see a doctor. Period. If I have an emergency, I'm SOL. I believe Barack Obama's speech was nothing but contrived. You have to interpret what he means by what he says. He claims to defend the Constitution, and I don't see him doing that. Gun control is being worked in because of some violent stuff and a school shooting in Sandy Hook in New Jersey, or Connecticut, excuse me. And the thing that bothers me is the liberals are jumping on that as another attempt to try to take away firearms. A gun went off accidentally at a gun show, I believe it was in Georgia, and that was all over the news. Nothing's in the news about bad drivers, and SUVs running red lights and killing people, and SUVs failing to use turn signals, and SUVs going 80 miles an hour plowing into the back of a Geo Metro and killing a family. Nothing's in the news about that. No, Barack Obama's America is not a realistic viewpoint. It's an agenda of socialism. The Democrats don't want to solve real problems like a nation rampant of bad drivers where they could bring in money to support government entities by bad driving if they punish people with huge fines. No, we want to take away guns. We want to impose a nationalistic health care system on people and find hardworking people who can't afford it, which I thought Obamacare was supposed to take care of people like me. Somebody told me I'll get a voucher, but that's only after I've shelled out a ton of money to pay for health care insurance premiums, and who knows how much the voucher will be for. I smell something rotten in Denmark, but this is the US, not Denmark. So I have a problem. I listened to his speech and I asked myself, how much of this is sincere? And I look at his chiseled face and his reflective presidential look. I find most of it to be BS, which is something Washington continues to manufacture. Then we pull up singers and people and gaiety, and I see everybody clapping for everything he says. The Pied Piper? Perhaps. I don't care for President Obama's leadership. If I didn't care for it the last 4 years, and I groan to think of what the next 4 years are going to be like. Though he says one thing, he turns right around and does another. And one of the things that he is doing is he's taking away the rights of average citizens like you and me. If he could take away our guns, he would do it. But I've got an offer. If you're going to go for gun control, Mr. President, could you please disarm the Secret Service and disband them? Because that's costing taxpayers a lot of money. I think that the federal government should save money and the president should not have any protection from firearms himself. Let's take away the guns from the Secret Service. Let's fire the Secret Service agent, or rather lay them off, and save billions of dollars there for presidential protection, because that's about how much it costs. Let's disband our military. Let's not let them have guns either. And if we're going to have gun control, let's take them away from everybody, including the leaders. But that's the rub. Obama doesn't want that. He likes the protection he has from the Secret Service. He likes the protection he has with men loaded with firearms, armed to the teeth to take out any possible assassinator. The hypocrisy of our modern leadership today is appalling. They want to take guns out of the hands of the citizens. They want to take away assault rifles. They want to take away all that. And they want to determine who's worthy of having that, i.e., leaders. That's a form of communism, folks. Pay careful attention. Obama wants people on welfare because he gets more votes. He philandered to the immigrants today, and I saw the little silly white women clapping with their long hair and their boring, expensive outfits, applauding this guy. White women have gotten behind Barack Obama because Barack Obama supports feminism and homosexual rights and abortion and all the evils of our society. And the white women that have turned into walking trash cans in our culture are getting behind a guy like this because it is all about them. White men have been kicked to the curb in our culture, and they've been kicked hard. Now we're going to exalt the immigrants, the ones that break into our country, the ones that have babies and have it on our soil so that they can't kick them back out. We've got illegals all over the place working for, yes, even white men and companies, which to me is breaking the law. I just don't feel good about an America under a president like this. And the only thing I can do is go, my gosh, can we get to another 4 more years of this clown? I'm sorry, Mr. President. I'm not a danger to you, but I have a hard time respecting you. I would respect you in your presence as a human being, but I can't do what you do. I can't play the BS game. I would look you right in the eye and say, I think some of the policies that you've imposed on those of us that are truly hardworking people, that aren't living high on the hog, are ridiculous. Did you even think or care? When you sit there and wax eloquent about the girl in poverty who has the same chance for the American dream, that's all smoke and mirrors. You're denying it for me. On a school bus driver's income, you're going to take $2,000 more out of my taxes this year. You're going to take $2,000 of the fine out of me for not having health insurance. Okay, maybe I'll have to weigh that. Maybe it'd be cheaper for me not to have health insurance and fall back on the system when I have an emergency and pay $2,000. Maybe that's what I'll have to risk. I think it's interesting that we're forcing from a federal level people to buy something. That to me just doesn't strike a freedom. What I say is if you don't have health insurance, you don't get treated. That sounds pretty harsh, but usually the way it works is if you're going to use that, Obama, that we have a right to demand health care, then I should be able to go into a store and say, I really need that $700 flat screen TV and I can't afford it, so I'm just going to take it. Ludicrous, right? Well, that's what you're doing with healthcare. And you Americans who think that it's the government's job to provide that for you, you're believing a crock of garbage. I'm not convinced, Obama, that you're going to do anything good for the benefit of this country. You are catering to minorities. You are catering to the people that don't want to work. You are catering to your union boys and your little good old boys club, which you have as well. You're catering to school teachers, Democrats, homosexuals, lesbians, and militant feminist white women. You're not representing all of America. You're not representing the hard-working people like truck drivers and people that work at Walmart and people that drive school buses that are working an honest day's work. You're not representing us at all. You're not doing a thing for us except giving us more tax burden and trying to take away more of our rights. You wax eloquent that every American deserves to right, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But you're putting a burden on the rest of us. It just isn't right. I don't believe in you, sir. I didn't vote for you. I was disgusted that 50% of the country voted for him. I find most Americans to be very ignorant. When I hear black people say I'm voting for him because he's black, how am I supposed to respect that? I believe in equality, but doggone it, I wish we had a black person that was running the White House right now that was far superior to him. And I know there's some out there that were more qualified than he is to run the show. I don't have a race hang-up. This isn't about skin color, it's about policy and morals. Any president that would support abortion, any president that would support gay rights, I don't want that guy in office. Why is it that America's bent on putting people in office that support all their little crazed rights, so-called rights, rights that are not given to them by our Creator? God gives us the right to free will, but God did not make gay rights a thing in the Bible. He certainly didn't condone abortion when the Bible says there are 6 things the Lord hates, 7 that are detestable to him, one of them being hands that shed innocent blood. You can twist and spin all that all you want, American people, but hands that shed innocent blood, it's talking about that life in the womb. That is blood, and it is innocent. Can't get around that, can ya? But meanwhile, we'll harp on gun control. We'll continue to push Obamacare, and we'll continue to head towards socialism. And the day may well come when we lose all of our rights, when we have a dictator at the helm who decides to get rid of people he doesn't like, just like Hitler did. So, welcome to another 4 more years of more debt, more rights being trampled on, a president who will not uphold the Constitution. He says he will, but he's redefining what he means by it. He even said that in his speech. We may not agree on everything in the Constitution and how it should be looked at. There you go. Pay attention to what he said, folks. Pay very careful attention. Socialism is coming soon to a theater nearest you. And I hope American people start waking up to that. But I don't think they're gonna. This is Pacific signing off. Bye-bye.